All right, that means we're live. Thank you everyone for coming today. It's the Halifax and West Community Council for May 14th, 6 p.m. My name is Wei Mason. I'm counselor and chair of the committee. And we have quorum and it's 6 o'clock, so I'm calling the meeting to order. We will start with a land acknowledgement. The Halifax Regional Municipality is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaties signed in this territory and recognizes that we are all treaty people. And I think we're particularly lucky to be here in the Don Lands today on a beautiful day like today. You may notice I got a little bit of sun on my face. It's really nice to actually experience not winter. So happy to be here in the Don Lands. So before we go to the approval of minutes, I'm going to do the mic check. We haven't done a virtual meeting for a while, so I'm just going to call you out on the order I see on the screen. First, let's see. Councillor Cuddle, is your mic working? Please introduce yourself.
My mic is working here.
Reporting
for duty.
Reporting for duty from District
11.
Okay, good. Next would be Councillor Lindell Smith.
Come on, Chair. You should know everyone's district by name, by number. Mic check.
Oh, I feel called out. Okay, District 8. Councillor Cleary has not joined us from District 9. So we'll go to Councillor Catherine Morris from District 10.
District 10, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, colleagues.
Good to see you. And finally, last but not least, Councillor Iona Stoddard with a beautiful flower background from District 12. Mic check, please.
Awesome. Thank you.
Very good. It's the sun. I'm still dizzy from all the sun. So moving on, we'll have approval of the minutes of February 27th, 2024. If someone would care to move and second those.
I'll move.
Moved by Councillor Morse, seconded by Councillor Stoddard. Any discussion on the minutes of February 27th? I'm seeing a shaking of heads, so we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I see all hands and ayes. All opposed? Any opposed? Seeing none, that is approved. So we'll now move to item 3, approval of the order of business and approval of additions and deletions. Madam Clerk, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Chair Mason, there are no additions or deletions from the clerk's office this evening.
On a night like tonight, that's what we would like to hear. So do the committee members have any additions or deletions or modifications to the order of business they would like to see? I'm seeing a general shaking of heads. Could I have a mover and a seconder for the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Morris, seconded by Councillor Stoddard. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you very much for that. So we'll move to business arising out of minutes none, which brings us to item 5, call for declaration of conflict of interest. None of you are going to materially benefit from anything we're debating today. None? Okay. Moving to motions of reconsideration, none. Item 7, motions of rescission, none. Item 8, consideration of deferred business, none. Notices of table matters, none. 10, hearings, none. Which brings us to 11, correspondence, petitions, and delegations. Madam Clerk, for 11.1, do we have any correspondence?
Chair Mason, there's no correspondence for this meeting.
All right, thank you very much for that. Madam Clerk, are there any petitions?
And no petitions from the clerk's office.
Do any members of the committee have any petitions they care to submit at this time? I'm seeing a uniform shaking of heads. There are no petitions to be presented at this time. That brings us to public participation, as tonight's meeting is virtual. Any speakers who wish to speak during the public participation using Zoom need to pre-register by 4:30 p.m. the business day prior, yesterday. And I believe we had no one register. Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Chair Mason, no registrants.
So there's, thank you very much. There's no public participation today. Information items brought forward, none. That brings us to reports. 14.11, which is Plan App 2023-00563, Development Agreement for 870 and 874/876 Herring Cove Road, Herring Cove. And it's a notice of motion today. So we have staff here, but there's no presentation as this is a notice of motion. So I'd ask the area councillor, I believe that would be you, Councillor Cuddle, if you would care to put the motion on the floor.
That's right, because Herring Cove is in District 11. a little bit in District 9. Okay, here we go. I move that Halifax and West Community Council give notice of motion to consider the proposed development agreement as set out in attachment A of the staff report dated April 26th, 2024, to allow for 37 new residential lots on new public streets and schedule a public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Councillor Cuttle, seconded by Councillor Morris. Councillor Cuttle, do you have anything on the matter?
Nope, this is just initiating the public participation process here for the public hearing. So I haven't heard anything from residents to date, so I think we can move forward.
Very good. Is there anyone else who cares to speak on the matter on council? General shaking of heads. There's no further discussion of the motion, so therefore we'll consider question called. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, we'll consider 14-1-1 passed. Thank you, Claire, for coming out and all your hard work today on this meeting. We'll move on. There's no notices of motion. There's no in-camera items. There's no added items. Are there any notices of motion from members of Community Council? That's a general shaking of heads against. That means the date of the next meeting is June 11th, 2024. And we will now, in a moment, call for a motion to adjourn. But I'm disappointed because we're virtual. I did not, the best I've ever done in a committee or council meeting is we got it done in 4.5 minutes. But because we had to do roll call on a virtual, we're clocking in at 7:42. I feel like I've really let you down, but we did the best we could. So could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned by Councillor Cuttle. Thank you, staff, and thank you, council. Appreciate